newspaper headlines and editorial exclusively on Sobi 101.9 FM.
Well, it is Wednesday, the 15th day in the month of July, and it is still 2026. And of course, this is today's review of news headlines and editorials personalities right here from Sobi 101.9 FM. Like I usually tell you, this is the program you need to listen to get yourself informed about every big story that made their way to the front page of the national dailies and, of course, across headlines across all news platforms. I am Ayobola Ayinla Aliyu, and this morning I shall be doing this toss and turn on the headlines with Nana Hawawu Akinlabi. Nana, you're always looking gorgeous. What's the secret?
I should ask you that.
Really?
All right. Good morning, Quarants. Good morning, Nigerians. Let's do it as usual.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. All right, moving on to bringing forth our analyst of the day onto the scene, and that's Adebayo Abubakar. He's always here with his robust analysis. Adebayo, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Ebola. I'm good. Good morning, Nana. And good morning, Nigerians.
All right, so let's make a do onto the business of the day. Now, first headline here has to do with what's your name. I've already told you. It's a scenario that played out yesterday, and this had to do with a fake agency scandal. How IG Special Forces arrested controversial DG in Oshun hideout. Now, I don't know if Adebayo came across the video yesterday, and it's been trending all over social media. And I just want to ask, first of all, Adebayo, what do you think is the actual reason for this whole lot of brouhaha surrounding this issue between this Mr. Adeyemi Adeniyi?
Well, Nigerians, much as we might like to be bashing the young man, trying to paint him in a bad light, yes, we also need to take a look at the kind of laxity in our system that gives him that window to operate. And as a result of that, the federal government should be more ashamed. Those in charge, particularly the Office of the Secretary to the Federal Government of the Federation, there ought to have been a foolproof arrangement of checks, verifications between the different agencies under the under the institution of the presidency, because you cannot bring a letter purportedly from the office of the chief of staff to the office of the secretary to the government of the federation without the latter trying to find out from the former, is this true? What did you say we should do about this? It shouldn't just be because everybody is in a hurry doing one side hustle or the other. There will be no room for to even stay and verify the authenticity. And again, somebody who is carrying around an employment letter purportedly written by the office of the chief of staff to the presidency, to the president. Immediately he presented that same letter because he said he presented those letters to them. Immediately he presented those letters, they ought to have raised a kind of eyebrow as to how come you are bringing this letter. This purported appointment letter is not supposed to come from the office of the chief of staff. But none of that was done. Perhaps there are collaborators within the system, and the earlier the better the guy started naming them. Otherwise, he would dance the music alone. Of course, because I saw he caught a very pitiable figure yesterday when he was arrested and was being asked, "What is your name?" I told you several times, and he was no longer his confident self when he was speaking with Shehu on television about 2 days ago. And that's to tell you, perhaps the wall of this thing built around himself is beginning to crack under the the weight of the imagined evidence and circumstantial evidence that people are now being are now beginning to to compare and contrast. But like I said, I wouldn't like us to dwell much on it because it's a matter that is in court, trying to establish his innocence or guilt. But we must continue to interrogate those in charge of that system that allows him that penetration to the point of getting an office allocation at the Federal Secretariat in Abuja. To get ordinarily a store where a space where you put container in Abuja, not to talk of getting an office space in a federal, at the
You
federal
see,
secretariat.
You see.
So if you know that place very well, and another thing is that it is high time the federal government started taking a second look at Onosai recommendation that recommended the scaling down of the number of agencies we have. The number of agencies run into thousands. That is why to even bring, if you bring a fake one, to start cross-checking will take a lot of time. So they just have to approve and go and rest. So we need to start looking at scaling them down. And funny enough, this is the same thing that brought about this red, the red flag that that exposed this whole scam, because he started performing functions that are overlapping that of the National Export Promotion Council. Nigeria Export Promotion Council. It was through that those people contacted the Export Promotion Council contacted the Central Office of the Secretary of the Government of the Federation that there is this agency going about performing our duty. When was it established? What are his terms of reference? And they are, the job description of the person moving around as the DG. That was where everything started. And when they got to the office of the Chief of Staff, he reportedly referred them to a petition he had written to the DSS way back in October 2025 that this guy should be investigated, because that was the first time the thing came up.
Well, you see, Adebayo, in the said interview that you mentioned, he did say something that, him being able to do all of these things, that do they think there's nothing else underneath? I want to ask you that. Do you think that is part of the laxity?
The only avenue through which he can establish his innocence by naming his collaborators, his co-collaborators, is on in the court of law. And he refused to show up yesterday. Somebody who is on bail.
Yes.
Now refusing to show up, in the essence of you being on bail is for you to, demonstrate that you have the integrity to be released without being detained, and you make yourself available on the day of hearing. But he was nowhere to be found until the judge had to issue warrant of arrest. So he has the opportunity of proving his innocence or otherwise in the court of law by naming those who, if he claimed to have paid the sum of 400 million naira. At least if it is true, then the person who collected that money from you could also be charged for 419, obtained by fraud, advance fee fraud. He could be charged under that section 419. Yes. So these are but the way the guy sounds, well, I wish him the best of luck.
A lot is left to be imagined.
I wish him judicial luck.
Okay. All right, so it's time for us to go for a very fast commercial break on the show. And please do be advised that we will still be back here in a jiffy. Please do not change it out.
No taco, say hello to the new No Smoky Party. Everyone likes smoky flavor, that delights your taste buds. You know Smoky Party, your love. You know Smoky Party, your love. Smoky Party, your love.
Enjoy the new Nor's Smoky Party Jollof seasoning.
Give me now, give me Smoky Party, your love. You know Smoky Party, your love, your love, your love.
Why are you still paying 1,250 naira per litre when your neighbors are paying 450 naira per SCM?
Stop losing money. The CNG movement is here. It's safe, it's verified, and it's smarter.
No cash for conversion, no problem. With MoneyPoint NCGC and Credit Corp, you can convert now and pay small while you save big on fuel.
CNG.
Cleaner, safer, affordable. Driving Nigeria forward.
Visit any PICNG accredited conversion centers today or visit www.pci.gov.ng.
Charlatan Quality Anti-Malaria contains Artemisa and Lumefantrine, available in cherry-flavored dispersible tablets with very convenient dosing for kids. Charlatan is also available in tablets for adults. Knock out malaria in 3 days with Charlatan from Shalina Healthcare. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Charlatan is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
Oh, I don't tire for this my television. No better picture, no better sound at all.
My brother, follow Hunorodo. Nigeria don't go digital with free TV. You get over 100 channels. And see, you don't go pay every month.
But I go need new box, Abi.
No, now. Use any free to air decoder or download Download the free TV mobile app for your phone. Just point your dish to Night Comsat and enjoy. No be so I tell you.
Digital.
Now, National Broadcasting Commission bring on this message.
No let them leave you for back. Switch to digital now. Free TV. No monthly wahala.
Guy, we don't dey talk since so. Ha, make I go do my work, eh? We go continue this talk later.
Oh boy, you don't talk. How about you know the tire?
Now the new level be that oh. This new MTN sachet bundle don't make life easy for me.
Brotherly, involve me now. Make myself they follow ya like you. Talk until you tire. When you day on top the new MTN sachet bundles, dial *312*7# and press 2 to start to enjoy from 100 naira. Load them, talk they go.
No firewood, no charcoal. Say hello to the new no smoky party. One last smoky flavor that delights your taste buds. You know smoky party, your love. You know smoky party, no smoky party.
Enjoy the new North Smoky Party Jollof seasoning.
Give me no, give me smoky party, your love. You know smoky party, your love.
My first Hausa in law visit, I nearly called 911 after one crush of Mr. Chef Cubes, and my me and Kuka spoke fluently. Even the grumpy Auntie Amina asked for takeaway.
Savor the taste of culture with a 2-finger crush of Mr. Chef beef, dawa dawa, and mixed spices seasoning cubes. Mr. Chef, taste home, taste culture.
Chef of life. Is it okay to make fun of our tooth? Let's have a talk. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Stop, cover your mouth. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Zero cavities and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate, #1 oral care brand in the world.
All right, we're back here on the show. Then I would like to tell our listeners that you would also have your opportunity to call into the studio and have your own contribution into what we're discussing right here this day on these numbers 091-2422-1019. I take that again, 091-2422-1019 or 080-5189-9241. That's 080-5189-9241. Now, Nana, can we have you?
All right, moving forward. This one is on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Makinde under fire over call for UN probe of Orire abduction. I know you've been getting backlash since yesterday over this move. Now, what's your opinion on this?
I think it has been in the news since yesterday, and even in the morning, on this platform yesterday, I also bear my mind on it that Makinde did not need to have said that. He did not need to have said that. There is a saying in my place that you have been, cleared of an allegation. You are still, threatening that until you get to heaven, that the judgment will still be revisited. Kidnapping happened, and there was a rescue, even though some people lost their lives. But we are glad that majority of them came back alive. And the military, the security forces also lost some of their men, some of the best they will have in Nigeria. And some brave, local hunters and vigilantes, even members of the Amateku Corps, lost their lives. We are now calling on the United Nations. Of course, there is no how you can make that kind of statement that political menace will not be read to it. You are a presidential aspirant or candidate. We don't know which one of it now. So in this election period, you need to be very careful, because to me, if I'm to interpret everything Governor Makinde said in the towards the end of the concluding paragraph of his speech, it was political. And you don't need to politicize insecurity. It is something we should, steer clear of, politicizing it. If we were to, go down hard on him too, he was being negligent. He was not in the state when it happened. He went in pursuit of his political ambition. And again, when the rescue took place again, he was not in the state. He was busy campaigning somewhere around Bauchi State. If we are to place it within the context of leadership and responsibility, he was nowhere to be found. He was missing in action. Due to political reason, he allowed that communication gap to exist between him and the presidency, such that they were now saying presidency did not call. If the presidency did not call you, did you call the presidency too? Yeah. So it is a two-way thing. If the presidency did not call you, you should call the presidency. After all, it is primarily in your area of responsibility. But politicians will always play politics. But it's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate, particularly to those people who lost their loved ones, both among the rescue team and the people. That's like somebody who was beheaded.
Yes.
You needed to hear the emotion-laden voice in which one of the family members was saying, "We thank God they are back, but our brother is not among." Now they are pleading with the federal government to just help retrieve his body so that a more dignifying funeral could be arranged for him. That's what Governor Makinde said is crass insensitivity to the plight of the family of late Mr. Michael and the other teacher that was shot also. And also the memories of those soldiers who lost their lives. When I mean soldiers now, I'm not talking about military alone.
Okay.
Amotekun, the hunters, I just use the word to qualify them. Because they went in defense of our liberty, in defense of our safety in the country. Yet, you are calling on United Nations. Yes, Nigeria is a member of the United Nations and a signatory to the Human Rights Charter. Let us place it within the context of geopolitics, what is happening in international community. Another member of the United Nations, by the name Venezuela, had their sitting president abducted by another country, a member of the UNO. The UNO could not do anything. And to me, that is much more serious than this one.
What is happening here?
And if the UNO could not do anything about it, so like they used to say, so that is that. How many times, how many countries around the world invite those external agencies to come and mediate in their own internal crisis? It is only in Nigeria. Any like democracy is in danger. These also places will come. So okay, look at. I saw a report early this morning on social media that the younger sister of Lindsay, Graham Lindsay, the senator that died, is about to be sworn into as his replacement. I hope it was a joke, but I can't put it beyond President Donald Trump. If he could do what he did regarding red card to Folani Balogun in the World Cup, how a player was given red card on the field of play, you now place a call to the FIFA president, who is your puppet, and thereby, changing the rules of the game, mangling the rule of the game. So I can't put it beyond Donald Trump. I could do that. So those are the countries we were calling on to come and save our own democracy. When Donald Trump lost an election and he mobilized his supporters to invade the capital. He wasn't he? So the same person you are now calling a champion of democracy. Come on.
You see, Adebayo.
I have a question.
Okay.
Actually, sorry. Are there constitutional boundaries to these things? Being a sub-executive, does he have that legal right, to ignore the presidency, and do the probing, the call and probing directly?
No, of course, it is within his democratic rights. We are talking of what is right or wrong. Forget about the constitution now. You have to be sensitive to the feelings of those who lost their breadwinners, those who lost their loved ones.
Adebayo, let's
and again, it's to me, it sounds as if he's trying to. He did put the caveat that it's not an attempt to undermine the effort of the institution of the security forces, but he has already done that. That is what after slapping somebody. I didn't mean to slap you, but you have already had both, and you say I didn't mean to slap you. That does not undo the fact that you have slapped the person. He has already rubbished the efforts of the security forces, who made sure that this is one of the most spectacular rescue operations Nigeria have recorded in recent memories. The way they went about it. But because of politics, some people, you see them, because of the story they want to hear so that it will suit their own political narrative, they didn't hear it. They now start moving around. Those girls were not rescued, they were released. Released to you. Oh. They were released and some of those people were lost. I mean, died in action. Is that how a release takes place? So we need to be very careful, because these are the kind of lack of consensus among us, the rest of us, who claim to be law-abiding Nigerians, that these criminal elements capitalize on to perpetrate their evil acts. If you cannot stand in unison against their action, some people are locking in the corner to make political gain out of what they are doing, while some are trying to safeguard the integrity of the Nigerian state. So you can see now that there is a conflict of interest. Those who were condemned, whose voices were loudest when the kidnap took place, immediately they rescued them, they went mum. They went mute. That is not how to be a Nigerian. That is not how to be a citizen. That is not how to be a national of a country. It is very unfortunate.
You see, Adebayo, putting politics aside, that's if we can do that in this particular case now. It was just for the sake of curiosity satisfaction. Do you think his call was that flimsy?
Of course, that's what we are saying. It has trivialized the entire effort of the federal government. Do you know how many states? Okay, if similar effort could be put into rescuing the 176 people in Woro and Nuku, do you think Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak could go on there and say such a thing? Or those in Borno, do you think Governor Zulu will say something like that? Or those in Kebbi or Zamfara, Sokoto? It's unfortunate that Governor Seyi Makinde is taking this thing beyond the level of common sense.
All right, let's move on to another headline. Here we have this from the home front, and it says that police hunt killers of Kwara farmer found hacked to death. And this here is coming from the front page of the Punch newspaper. See, I just want to ask generally now, not just about Kwara alone, for the farmers whom are vulnerable to this kind of attacks. What kind of do you think there's any measure of security, especially for them, considering them, having to do their jobs on the outskirts and non-residential areas?
You see, when we talk of security, security has many facets. It has different facets. We are talking of security from physical harm, being safe from physical assault.
I need your assistance here. Let's just come back from this particular break. We'll be right back.
Let's have it talk. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Stop, cover your mouth. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Zero cavities and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate, number one oral care brand in the world.
Start your day and have a good time. Kivo Creamer, even when you need to clear your eyes. Kivo Creamer, when you need to have the break time. Kivo Creamer, you're not free, no Pogarita. Kivo Creamer, Kivo Creamer, Kivo Creamer, Kivo Creamer.
Good time moments with Kivo Creamer.
Kivo Creamer.
lọ́pọ̀ ìgbà àwọn èèyàn kì í mọ bí dátà wọn ṣe máa ń tètè jó tán èmi gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ alágbèéká wa jẹ́ kí n jẹ́ ẹ sí bó ti ṣe máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gan-an kété tí olówó mi bá ti sùn ni màá ti máa ṣe ohun tí kò ní mọ̀ tó bá sì mọ̀ àpẹẹrẹ kí n sáré ṣe auto update nìyẹn tí oorun bá ti wọ̀ lára iṣẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn màá ṣe cloud backup tó bá ti wá fi oorun rẹ̀ sí GIA 3 gbogbo àwọn apps tó ti ṣí sílẹ̀ lèmi á máa refresh ní tèmi o tó fi dórí àwọn apps tí ó lò gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ ẹ mọ̀ pé mo gbọ́dọ̀ mọ gbogbo bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ lórí ayélujára tí olówó mi bá ti jí ẹgbọ́n tó máa ń wí.
yéè mo gbé o dátà tí mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣe máa ti tán.
ṣé mi ò sọ fún ẹ.
jára ẹ má jẹ́ kí fóònù ẹ máa fi dátà rẹ ṣe ogle ṣe àkíyèsí auto updates pa àwọn apps tí o kò bá nílò nígbàkúùgbà.
ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ lásán lèmi o kòkòrò tí ń jẹ dátà ní ìjẹkújẹ fún ẹni tí ò bá ṣe àmójútó dátà rẹ̀.
jẹ́ ìgbádùn dátà rẹ ní wẹ̀lẹ̀mú limit 100 MTN.
No firewood, no charcoal. Say hello to the new no smoky party. Everyone that's smoky flavor that be like your taste buds. You know smoky party, turn up, turn up. You know smoky party, turn up, smoky party, turn up.
Enjoy the new Noah's Smoky Party Jollof Seasoning.
Give me that. Give me smoky party, turn up. You know smoky party, turn up, turn up, turn up.
Abdulrazak Abubakar Toyi University, AATU, Okeogba, Gama, Kwara State, a fast-growing non-profit university, is pleased to inform parents, guardians, and prospective students of the newly approved programs at AATU by the National Universities Commission, NUC. The programs approved are Community Health Science, Nursing Science, Public Health Science, Medical Laboratory Science, Intelligence and Security Studies, Political Science, Public Administration, Mass Communication, Artificial Intelligence, Microbiology, Industrial Chemistry, Chemistry, Medical Physics, Common Law, Common and Islamic Law. Also, our existing programs are in full operation, including IJMB program. Our security network is top-notch. Choose AATU as your first choice and get your admission without stress. For further details, visit www.aatu.edu.ng or call 0816-839-8395 or 0901-979-1412. AAT University, a private, not-for-profit university for global citizenship.
kárílé tó dáa fi ṣe bùsùn ṣe gbogbo èyí kára lè fọkànbalẹ̀ kọ́lé sí tàbí dókòwò lórí dúkìá ilé àtilé. Ọ̀pá Homes and Properties Limited wà fún ọ. Ilé iṣẹ́ tó yarantí tó sì fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀ ní gbogbo ìgbà tó bá ṣe tán tó fẹ́ ra ilé àbílé sí gbogbo bísẹ́mọ́ntì ti gbé dolẹ̀ nílọrin àti yíká orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà lápapọ̀. Òótọ́ ọ̀nù àti ìwọmọlúwàbí pọ́nbélé la gbé dání ní Ọ̀pá Homes and Properties Limited. Bó ṣe ilé àbílé tó wà lójú títì láti fi ṣe ilé iṣẹ́ àtàwọn ẹ́stéètì gbogbo tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí. Bàbá wọn àdúgbò tó ṣe ń dìde lẹ́bọ̀ òwòsàn àti sọ bó ṣe fẹ́ sí ìfọkànbalẹ̀ nílé àbílẹ̀ tó bára ní Ọ̀pá Homes. Ìwé ìlú òpin pérépéré kò sì ní sí wàhálà òun ò nílẹ̀. Má sì gbàgbé yàtọ̀ sí gbígbé tàbí lílò ìdókòwò dúkìá ilé àtilé ló níye lórí jùlọ. Báwa dòwò pọ̀ ní Ọ̀pá Homes and Properties Limited tó wà ní Rukamat Plaza No. 1 Oro Road Taiwo Òkè nílùú Ìlọrin. Pè tàbí kó WhatsApp sórí 0902-255-2292. Ọ̀pá Homes and Properties Limited. Òpó tó gbéléró.
Is it okay to make fun of our tooth? Let's have a talk. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Stop cover your mouth. Not to do younger with your smell. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Zero cavities and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste. Not to do younger with your smell. Brush your teeth with Colgate.
Colgate, number one oral care brand in the world.
All right, so Adebayo, as we're back here, you were saying something about security having many faces.
Yes, so as I was saying, when we talk, the phenomenon of security has so many facets. We are talking about the physical one. And this one, the kind of assault that this farmer was subjected to, it has two consequences. One, it's so that other farmers will be scared away from going to the farm. Number two, that is also threatening our national food security. That is why I kick against anybody that is, playing politics with matter of security, like I have accused Governor Makinde of doing. I know he was fighting back when Governor Ayo Fayose also came, former governor of Ekiti, said that he might have been responsible for you to embarrass President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I disagree with that, and I condemn Fayose when he said that was too reckless. How could Governor Makinde be, have staged a kidnap of his own within his own state to embarrass the federal government? So I believe Governor Makinde too is hitting back, and that should not be. We need to focus on this because the consequences of all this insecurity is going to bounce back on all of us. Because by the time we start experiencing food inflation, we will know how far we have come in, aiding inadvertently these things. Because we need to focus more on making those rural areas safe, because they are the shoulder on which the urban population rests. Okay, you have been dwelling in Ilorin.
Yes.
How many acres of farmland do you have now? Yes, you must eat daily. I don't have any either. And I must eat daily at least 2 times, if not 3 times. It is these rural farmers that are responsible for our feeding. From Ilorin to Abuja, from Abuja to Lagos, from Lagos to Port Harcourt, Kano, like that. All over the world, that is the way it is. That's why security in the rural area must be our focus.
Thank you very much.
So it is unfortunate that it has to happen in the first place. But then, better late than never that the Kwara Police Command is, on the trail of those who did that, at least to send a signal of deterrent to those who are responsible that if you do this, there will be no hiding place for you. And that is why I will never forgive those governors who refuse to sign death warrants of those who have been convicted of kidnapping or terrorism. Because these people, they don't wish us well. If they wish us well, they will not be doing what they are doing. They don't wish Nigeria well. And this same set of people, the Nigerian law had, found them guilty. You are going to sign their paper to face the consequences as spelled out in the law. You refuse. To what end? Governor Mandela of Edo has come out to say it openly that if you bring 100 death warrant, you will sign it 100 times. Yeah. But some other governors, for reason best known to them.
Oh, because I wanted to ask that. Do you think there's a reason for them to not want to sign?
Signal strong enough for those people to know that the consequence of what they are doing is death, according to the anti-terrorism law. Because some governors refuse to sign the death warrants. So if such a person is captured now, he will be sentenced to death. The court will do their job, verify all the evidence put forward by the prosecutor, and if by chance he is found guilty and sentenced to death, we'll be hearing stories. It is the governor that have not signed. And the story is the same all over the federation. The governors need to change their mind. It is not, they should not see it as something personal. It is a responsibility
like I don't want blood on my hands.
By the collective, by under the framework of what we call John Locke's social contract. You are exercising this on our behalf, not on your own behalf, on behalf of yourself.
Or your spirituality.
Change that up, change that mindset, change that attitude. Anybody who the court has convicted, it is within their right to grant prerogative of mercy, to grant pardon based on prerogative of mercy. If you are going to pardon them, let us know where you stand. Not sitting on defense by not signing their death warrant and not pardoning them.
All right, thank you so much. Now, Anana.
INEC seeks increased funding to strengthen its operations. Now, Professor Joash Amokuta, who is the INEC chairman, has sought support from Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, for increased consistent funding. Now, the question now is INEC meant to pitch to this body, or they are meant to seek for some budgetary adjustment to increase their needs?
You see, those were part of Justice Uwe's recommendation. Those are the kind of things that have not guaranteed completely the independence of the electoral umpire. They still have to depend on the executive for funding. Theirs should be coming directly from the Consolidated Revenue Fund. Once the budget is approved by the Senate, the release will not be subject to the executive whims and caprices. But here we have it. Here we have it. Funds will not be made available on time. That's why sometimes you see some logistic failure on election day. Voters will be on queue waiting to be accredited. They will tell you that voting materials have not yet arrived. Or sometimes they even take it out of, while hurrying up to beat this deadline. They will take the one that is meant for Ilorin South to Barutin, take that of Barutin to Isin. That mix up. At the end of the day, you hear, reports of irregularities and all that. And those are the things that create gap for result manipulation. Because where you don't have the different form, EC, ATC, whatever, they will just bring out a 2D exercise book, read a line and write whatever they like. If they write it and it's not favorable, it can be changed anytime.
I didn't remember 2D.
So these are the implications of inadequate funding and non-release of fund on time. It has to be released on time and made available. Made sufficient for them to be able to do whatever they need to do. Remember, INEC is expected to transport voting material to all the nooks and crannies of this country, yet they don't have a transport company.
All right, let's have this first call of the day. Hello, good morning. All right, you're welcome. All right. For somebody to become a governor under the platform of democracy, you understand, it sounds somehow to say that those people would not really understand what democracy is. But, if he just has a particular line he's going, then he would let us know. All right, let's have this other call. Good morning. Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, please. Okay.
language of the former governor that maybe Governor Makinde is behind the kidnapping to the minister of that and the instrument from the state government of Europe. Then because it came to language of that time and this time. Because I think people are trying to condemn Europe government. Now why not condemn part of that time? These are one of your questions to language. That's my comment.
All right, thank you.
Well, it means maybe you missed out when I was making that clarification.
Yes.
That we all condemned that reckless statement coming from Ayo Fayoshi. The same how we condemn this. If you recall, I said maybe Makinde was trying to get back at Fayoshi or whoever he was representing. The two of them are reckless. Two wrongs do not make it right. That is just it. So I did condemn their esteemed caller. I condemned it then, now, and in future.
All right. Futuristically speaking. All right, so let's have this headline from the Cable Adebayo. In the wake of the reps actually withdrawing the passage of the state police bill to consider the president's zone, now we have the Senate President Godswill Akpabio saying that he would not go against the president just for fun. And with the Nigerians, always complaining about rubber stamping and thereabout. What are your views?
Well, like the saying goes, it is only a fool that does not change his mind. A wise man changes his mind when he is confronted with something superior in terms of arguments and even facts. So it is kudos to the members of the House of Representatives having found perhaps that of the president, better than the one they are holding. That is why they say two good heads are better than one. So they've examined their own and have seen that of the president's and realized that it is better we go with this one. After all, there is what we call unity of purpose. The purpose is to give Nigeria a robust, multi-layered policing system. And if they align with what the president is saying and they find it better than their own and align with it, I think they deserve our commendation.
Really?
Yes.
Yesterday we did say something about, Nigeria, was it yesterday or the day before? About, Nigeria making policies, some things like this as well. And then just coming back again to, tweet on whatever it is you have said initially. There should be some sort of planning strategy and everything before putting forth all of these things to the public.
Is it not better for them to change their mind and admit that they were wrong initially and going ahead headstrong? Going ahead and give us a faulty law? Which one do you prefer?
Well, premeditation of a conflict.
Let me tell you something. Sometimes these things are no weaknesses. It's a sign of strength of character.
I can't be forgiven. I can't be forgiven. Ìgbà tí mo ní tẹ́tí ṣe báyìí ẹ̀ mo fi pé èmi tẹ̀ ti yọ. Mo tẹ̀ ti yọ call drop gan kalẹ̀ tí pé tó bá ti ń lọ báyìí máa
tí ìdùnnú bá ní ìró ní Nàìjíríà báyìí gẹ́lẹ́ ni yóò ṣe dún. Fún ọdún márùnléláàádọ́rin Coca-Cola ti wà nínú àwọn àkókò ìdùnnú tí ó mú wa pọ̀ láti ìgbéyàwó sí ọjọ́ ìbí sí ìsọmọlórúkọ sí ìwújáde sí ìgbòkègbodò kódà sí gbogbo.
Ọmọdé lẹ̀lẹ̀ second line yẹn the line the particular line tó pé múri tó ń tan náà immediately mi ìyàgbé ti sẹ̀kọ́ wa.
Ó ní kìíní kan òun fẹ́ bí mi Mariam sí nǹkan tí chairman wa sọ níjọ́
ó tàṣù alánà
ó tàṣù control àwọn èèyàn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ bíbá ìdí tí wọ́n sọ kí ló dé táwọn ń control àwọn nílé àwọn tí ilé táwọn fẹ́ sọ. Èsì dẹ̀wà tí mo fẹ́ fún bẹ̀rù wọn á rò pé jẹ́ fi fúnra mi sí pọ̀ àlejò.
Ó sọ ní live ni. Ó fẹ́ pé mo tẹ́lẹ̀ immediately ní láì yẹn ring padà.
Good time moments with Kivo Creamer.
Kivo Creamer. Lọ́pọ̀ ìgbà àwọn èèyàn kì í mọ bí dátà wọn ṣe máa ń tètè jó tán. Èmi gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ alágbèéká wa jẹ́ kí n jẹ́ ẹ sí bó ti ṣe máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gan-an. Kété tí olówó mi bá ti sùn ni màá ti máa ṣe ohun tí kò ní mọ̀ tó bá sì mọ̀. Akẹ́rẹ́ kí n sáré ṣe auto update nìyẹn. Òun bá ti bọ̀ lára. Iṣẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn. Màá ṣe cloud backup tó bá ti wá fi orun rẹ̀ sí jẹ́. Gbogbo àwọn apps tó ti ṣí sílẹ̀ lèmi á máa refresh tèmi o tó fi dórí àwọn ìbánisọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ mọ̀ pé mo gbọ́dọ̀ mọ gbogbo bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ lórí ayélujára tí olówó mi bá ti jí ẹgbọ́n tó máa ń wí.
Yé! Mo gbé o! dátà tí mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣe máa ti tán.
ṣé mi ò sọ fún ẹ.
jára ẹ má jẹ́ kí fóònù ẹ máa fi dátà rẹ ṣe óblé. ṣe àkíyèsí auto updates pa àwọn apps tí o kò bá nílò nígbàkúùgbà.
ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ lásán lèmi o kòkòrò tí ń jẹ dátà ní ìjẹkújẹ fún ẹni tí ò bá ṣe àmójútó dátà rẹ̀.
jẹ ìgbádùn dátà rẹ ní wẹ̀lẹ̀mú limit 100 MTN.
When I'm hungry and I need a quick meal, something crunchy, creamy and tasty. Kivo Gary mix is just all I need. Kivo Gary mix just the way I like it. Gary creamer and sugar, just the way I like it. Kivo Gary mix. Gary soaking easy, enjoy at school, home or work.
Kivo 3-in-1 Gary Mix. Just add water and enjoy.
Kivo Gary mix. Start your day and have a good time. Kivo Creamer, even when you need to clear your eyes. Kivo Creamer, when you need to have a break time. Kivo Creamer, you're not free, no Gary time. Kivo Creamer, Kivo Creamer, Kivo Creamer, Kivo Creamer.
Good time moments with Kivo Creamer.
Kivo Creamer. No firewood, no charcoal, say hello to the new. No smoky party, everyone that's smoky flavor. That be like your taste buds. You know smoky party, your love. You know smoky party, your love.
Enjoy the new North Smoky Party Jollof Sizzling.
Give me now, give me smoky party, your love. You know smoky party, your love.
Is it okay to make fun about Tuka? Let's have a talk. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Stop cover your mouth. Not to do younger with your smell. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Zero cavities and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste. Not to do younger with your smell. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate, #1 oral care brand in the world.
All right, so it's another race on the review this morning, and of course, we would also be here to have your call in on on this our call number 09124 221019 09124221019 or 080 51899241. And you can also do by leaving your messages on our social media handle on Sobi 101.9 FM. That's on Facebook, and then of course you can leave your messages during.
All right, let's go diaspora. I have this one. Hamas to remain close to U.S. ends act of aggression, and this is coming from Iran. Now, if we look at it, we've been having this Iran and U.S. war since February, and now it has hampered a whole lot of things worldwide. Now, what do you think would happen, to the world when the warning extends to regional oil exports, as Iran stated?
Adebayo, please let's have this call before you respond. Hello, good morning. All right, so let's have you. Okay. Hello, we are hearing you loud and clear. Okay. Oh, there's some sort of noise in the background, Mr. Ritimi from Oru. Please, well, you can do well by calling us back again. All right, so Adebayo, it's Adebayo's turn now.
Well, you see, it is unfortunate that Donald Trump started that war and he doesn't know how to end it. He has been looking for exits. He has been agreeing to ceasefire all by himself, and at the same time breaking it again. There was a time Iran even came out to say that he has been negotiating with himself, that not with them. He said negotiation was ongoing. And so, all this contradiction is as a result of America's desperate, search for a soft landing and a face-saving move to just exit that war. And Iran is a country that, they have a history that dates about 3 or 4 millennia, and they are not ready to let go of it. They have a civilization that dates back to even before Christ, BC. And this thing is not something that you can just come and bomb out of a people. You can't bomb it out of their collective idiosyncrasy. So they are ready to do everything. See the way the day you said they wanted to burn them to Stone Age. See thousands of Iranians, they line that there is a bridge. He said he will bomb. They line themselves on that bridge. They will bomb all of us with it. So they are setting a trap for him, so that it will look genocidal. That is the hallmark of a proud people. So coming to Strait of Hormuz, geography had, voluntarily, willingly smiled on Iran by giving them that strait. It is their sovereign, possession. And as a result of that, they have, taken time, knowing fully well that this kind of thing is going to happen, and they've, they've done the needful, because they have long anticipated this day. And that is why it is going to be very difficult for them to think that they can take control. You see Donald Trump saying that all they are interested in is this and that. Now, he's saying that the US will take control of that place and be charging 20%. How realistic is 20%? Meanwhile, before, what Iran was charging is around 2 to 3%. And you now say you want to save global commerce by charging 20%. So the incoherence of Donald Trump is a pity that he has to bring that kind of shame on the people of America.
Well, on how realistic that is, we would leave that to the imagination of everyone listening right now. Because right about now, it's time for us to call off the show this morning. And of course, we want to say thank you to Kosim Jemba, Fatiu Elayeli, and Adeleke Tawab on Facebook for joining us there. So we thank you so much for joining us today. Please do make it a day with us again. Same time tomorrow, 8:30 to 9:30 a.m.
Indomie wrappers on your table.
I'm collecting my Indomie Moments wrappers. I want to win something big.
Something big, just like that.
Yes, by collecting 10 unique moments inside the Indomie wrapper, anyone can become a winner.
I'm going no more. I want to start collecting my own Indomie Moments wrappers.
That's right. Don't miss out on My Indomie Moments promo. Collect 10 unique moments and stand a chance to win amazing prizes. Visit www.indomie.ng/My Indomie Moments.
No firewood, no charcoal. Say hello to the new North Smoky Party. Everyone that's working flavor that delights your taste buds. New North Smoky Party, your love. New North Smoky Party, your North Smoky Party.
Enjoy the new North Smoky Party Jollof Sizzling.
Give me now, give me Smoky Party Jollof. New North Smoky Party Jollof.
Guy, we don't need talk since so. Ha, think I go do my work, We go continue this talk later.
Oh boy, you don't talk. How about? You know the tire.
Now the new level be that too. This new MTN sachet bundle don't make life easy for me.
Brotherly, involve me now. Make myself they follow ya like you. Talk until you tire. When you day on top the new MTN sachet bundles, dial *312*7# and press 2 to start to enjoy from 100 naira. Low down, talk they go.
lọ́pọ̀ ìgbà àwọn èèyàn kì í mọ bí dátà wọn ṣe máa ń tètè jó tán èmi gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ alágbèéká wa jẹ́ kí n jẹ́ ẹ sí bó ti ṣe máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gan-an kété tí olówó mi bá ti sùn ni màá ti máa ṣe ohun tí kò ní mọ̀ tó bá sì mọ̀ àpẹẹrẹ kí n sáré ṣe auto update nìyẹn tí oorun bá ti bọ́ lára iṣẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn màá ṣe cloud backup tó bá ti wá fi oorun rẹ̀ sí GR3 gbogbo àwọn apps tó ti ṣe sílẹ̀ lèmi á máa refresh ní tèmi o tó fi dórí àwọn apps tí ó lò gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ ẹ mọ̀ pé mo gbọ́dọ̀ mọ gbogbo bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ lórí ayélujára tí olówó mi bá ti jí ẹgbọ́n tó máa ń wí.
yéè mo gbé o dátà tí mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣe máa ti tán.
ṣé mi ò sọ fún ẹ.
dára ẹ má jẹ́ kí fóònù ẹ máa fi dátà rẹ ṣe ó gbé ṣe àkíyèsí auto updates pa àwọn apps tí o kò bá nílò nígbàkúùgbà.